Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, February 1st. Welcome. I know, a week. I'm back in a week. I hope everybody's had a good week. Ours has been pretty good. Ryan turned 2 on Friday, so yesterday we went and celebrated his birthday. Addison had a little party for him. Mostly it was family and some of her friends from work, and she invited over one other little child that he's played with before that's about the same age as him. I think she's a couple months younger. But anyway, he enjoyed it. He loved when he sat down in front of the cake and everyone sang happy birthday to him. When everyone was done singing, he said, "Yay," and he clapped, and then he said, "More, more." So he liked that. He really liked the frosting on his cake, but it was fun, and he had a good time, and he didn't want it to end. So we are rolling into busy season at work, so we're gearing up for long days and late nights and all of the fun that goes with it. But it affords us the ability to go on vacation, so I'll take it. I have been stitching. I've worked on Hallie's birth announcement. Obviously, Bobby G Designs. It says designs by Barbara Smith. So there you go. Here is where we are. I tried to do this earlier with the curtains open over here. It's not sunny, it's overcast. I really thought that would help, but it was blowing everything out. So anyway, this time I worked mostly up here on this lamp. Just filling in some of the colors. If the same color was down here, there's a ball on the edge of the dresser there, a little striped beach ball. I brought it down here, but then I decided to come down here and start working on the little dress. Sorry, piece of my hair. The little dress that's hanging up right here. I've put it off a lot because it has a bunch of different shades in it. And so it is intimidating when you look at it when it's kind of confetti-ish on the pattern. You know how that goes. So I've avoided it, and I decided yesterday, I think I was stitching on it yesterday, just do it. Just do it. I worked a little bit on the monthly mini villages that I got every month last year. I started January's last year on January 1st, I believe, and that was my New Year, New Start, and I didn't start any of the others, so that was awesome, right? So anyway, here's where we are. This time I finished filling in this lighter blue on that building, got over here and started this building, did the darker blues up here. Just trying to fill in. There's more buildings on each side, but at least it got some attention, right? Something. Trying to think if anything else fun happened. I don't think so. On Friday, Ryan did come by the office, and he had the best time carrying the drinks from the kitchen to Dax's office and back. And of course, Papa had to help. Then they would stop. We have a couple of antique typewriters, and so they would stop at one of the typewriters to type a message before they went on to deliver everything. They're pretty cute. I like both of them, so I think they're both pretty cute. And then from Cross My Heart ink, this. You're welcome. If you're new here, I have a thing about welcomes, even though nobody comes to my house. So I'm doing this one. I've got welcomes all over the place and nobody comes to my house. Especially now that our parents have gotten older, because they used to be the only ones that came over. Anyway, here's where I am. I was so close, but had to go to work. Man, that work interferes with so much having of fun, I swear. And then I'll start in with the blue and the stars and everything. It's coming along. And I had a new start because absolutely I needed another new start. Anyway, it's called Cowboy. It's by Stitching Jewels Designs. And it's kind of like stipple paintings. Somewhere around here in a frame, I have a stipple painting of a deer that my dad did. That those would be kind of neat together. I'm not sure if I think I'm sticking things in the wrong place here. I had some floss that got loose, and I think it goes with that. Okay. We're getting it under control. Anyway, this is a new start. And it doesn't look like much. Of course, it's all in black. Here is where I got to. I started in the middle at the top. In the middle is actually kind of over here on the brim of his hat. We're not over to the crown yet, but it doesn't look like much, but it's actually a couple hundred stitches. So I don't really count, but it's around 200, 250 stitches. I'm doing it on 18 count Aida. Here's the fabric. It's one that I dyed, and here's what I think is crazy. All that variation of color and everything, that's only one color of dye. I poured tan RIT dye in there, and all of that variation is just from that tan RIT dye, even though I don't think it looks very tan. But I left it in a little too long. It came out darker than I really wanted it to be, but it'll work. It will be fine. I worked on my December sweet stitching. I need to make this one like 25 stitches a day or something like that so that I can get it done. But anyway, here's where I've gotten to. It's coming along slowly but surely. Very slowly. Because Ryan is so attached to Dax, I tried to make a ragdoll for him with Dax's face, but none of the techniques I tried could I get the picture onto the fabric, which was very frustrating. I'm going to keep trying. I've done it before, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I even tried printing it onto the fabric, and my printer kept telling me that I had the wrong size paper in the tray, even though I had the fabric stuck to a sheet of paper so it would feed through without a problem. But I don't know what's going on, but I was getting frustrated, and I knew I was running out of time, so I didn't want to keep messing with it because I'd just make a bigger mess. So maybe it will be in his Easter basket. I don't know. I worked on Graveyard Halloween again. I think I just showed you this one. And here you go. This time we made it, I finished that L, put in the A, and started the H. So there we are. There really isn't terribly much left to do. There's finish the H and do that tree, and then the moon over here, and then I guess the spider web down here. I did buy the fancy floss for the moon, but I'm not saying that I'm going to get this done the next time I pull it out. I'm just saying that maybe there's an end in sight somewhere. Out of Cross Stitch Gold, this piece was called like birdhouse cushion. It was designed by Lucy Heaton. There's a little bit of these. It's on a pillow or a cushion. There's just a little bit on this other page. But anyway, I have started this one and this one. I'm doing them not like this. I'm doing them individually. But this time I worked on this one. And I got it finished. Now, clearly it is not centered. I started on the page where, right, I was like, oh, look, they marked the center of each birdhouse. And no, they did not mark the center of each birdhouse. They marked the center of the page, which just happens to be above this birdhouse. So when I use that line to center it, clearly I am not centered. But it fits nonetheless, and it's done. And that gave me 3 finishes for January, and I'm not going to complain about that one little bit. This was a Mania piece, maybe from a couple years ago. And I was looking when I went to mark it off my list of Mania pieces that are carrying forward. I noticed that I'm getting in a place where a lot of my Mania pieces are big stitching, and I really try to just pull in order out of what I have to start, and I may have to rethink that this year and dig for tiny projects if they're not the next ones, because otherwise I'm just going to be stitching the same thing for Mania every year. And then out of my Paula Vaughn Quilts for All Seasons, I did work on my January quilt, which is this one. All of this confetti, once again, is very intimidating. But here's where I am on it. This time, all of this little bits of blue are new. I came around and extended the hoop. I did some of this red over here in the basket. So little by little, like I said, this is intimidating, all of the confetti, and trying to, like, I tried to use up what was on my needle that in the same blue, but I hate to carry too far because there's fractional stitches and all of that stuff. So anyway, eventually I'll do it and be like, why was I so intimidated? Why did I think this was so hard? But I think that's it. I'm hoping that I get to do a little. I went to the grocery store yesterday. I've already done a couple of loads of laundry. I need to go get one out of the dryer right now because Kirsten's trying to do laundry. And yeah, I don't really have a ton. Gotta go empty the dishwasher and sweep the kitchen floor, but I think I'm gonna be pretty good for that being getting my chores done today. So I'm hoping to get to just relax and play a little. I mean, I'm still exhausted from holding my grandbaby yesterday while she slept, and I mean, every time somebody handed her to me, I swear she'd spit up on me. I'm starting to take it personal. But it's okay. I don't let just anybody throw up on me, but if she wants to, she can. Ryan can too. He's a little older though, so it's a little more gross. But if need be, it's fine. Um, Trying to think of if there's anything fun and exciting going on. I don't think so, and that's okay. Um, yes, McKenna, Jerome. It was Jerome. That's the town that we were staying in. I'm trying to think of the name of the hotel where we were, the Dawaki Inn, something like that. And our room overlooked Jerome up in the mountains. Um, but yes, I kudos to you, McKenna, for being able to figure it out from my horrendous description. That's good. Um, okay, I think that's all I've got. And God willing, I will be back next week. I'm trying very hard to just do it. I'm sticking with it. And even today, there's a print that has been in my room for probably a year that I wanted to hang up, and it's just been sitting there and sitting there. And today I went and did it. So I am really trying to stick with the quit putting it off, quit thinking about it, and just get it done. So fingers crossed I continue. Even if I don't, though, I have gotten some things done. So there is that. All right. Thanks, y'all. Thank you for the comments, the likes. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't yet, why not? Why not? Just go ahead and do it. It'll be fine. But I appreciate you all more than you know, and I'll see you here next time. Thanks, y'all. Bye.